A very good evening to you and welcome to Primetime News on MTV Sports, live from the News First studios in Colombo. I'm Nadir Majid.
And I'm Krishna Panditharatna. The start of the news is a look at your headlines.
Making headlines tonight, websites that contain lewd content and the individuals connected to these websites discussed at the Cabinet media briefing. DNA MP Arjuna Ranatunga writes to the President requesting the immediate annulment of the broadcast rights given to CSN by Sri Lanka Cricket. 3 people are killed in an accident in Dulapitiya.
Let's take a look at those stories in detail now. President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that it is the responsibility of politicians to ensure that public money is not wasted and maximum use is made of resources when planning development projects. The President expressed this view while attending the Karuthura District Development Committee meeting today. The meeting was convened to look into the progress of ongoing development projects in the Karuthura District, the shortcomings that have been encountered when implementing projects. Speaking at the meeting, President Rajapaksa had said that development projects should not be merely limited to foundation stones wasting public money. The President had pointed out that development committee meetings should not be considered as political meetings, but rather focus on the needs of the public. The President had emphasized that therefore it was the duty of the public representatives to take part in these meetings and look into the issues faced by the people.
In other local news, new secretaries have been appointed to 18 ministries. The appointment letters were presented by President Mahinda Rajapaksa at Temple Trees this evening. Charita Herath has been appointed as the new secretary to the Ministry of Mass Media and Information. Dr. Nihal Jayathilaka will serve as the secretary to the Ministry of Health, while Dr. T.R.C. Ruberu will serve as the secretary to the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Anura Siriwardana has been appointed as the secretary to the Ministry of Industries and Commerce, while GKD Amarawardana will be the new secretary to the Ministry of Cooperatives and Internal Trade. A.M. Jaya Vikrama has been appointed secretary to the Ministry of Sports, while M.I. Imelda Sukuma has been appointed as the secretary to the Ministry of Social Services.
DNA parliamentarian Arjuna Ranatunga has written to the President requesting him to immediately nullify the granting of broadcasting rights to the Kalti Media Network by Sri Lanka Cricket.
At the beginning of the letter, parliamentarian Arjuna Ranatunga draws attention to the Mahinda Chintana program pertaining to the upliftment of state institutions. He notes that in such a backdrop, the broadcast rights of the 2011 Cricket World Cup had been given to a state television network without adhering to a proper mechanism. In his letter, Arjuna Ranatunga points out that the entire country is aware that this has been carried out by individuals who have been appointed to Sri Lanka Cricket with the blessings of the President. The letter goes on to state that the Mahinda Chintana program is being disregarded at present. The letter goes on to say, quote, "What has happened and what is taking place now is that you and individuals who are receiving your blessings have put the Mahinda Chintana program to the waste paper basket, and the broadcasting rights of Sri Lanka Cricket have been handed over to Carlton Network, which has also received your blessings for a sum of 125 million rupees in an arbitrary manner, violating the state monetary policies and tender procedures. If you remain silent in the wake of such incidents, it proves that these corrupt transactions are taking place with your full blessings. I believe that you will think about the accusations and insults that will be leveled at you as the President wisely. Furthermore, it should be noted that Carlton Network, which has received your blessings, and Sri Lanka Cricket have become a single entity with or without your knowledge." Unquote. The letter further noted that such criticism and accusations are being levelled at the President, as the final responsibility lies with the President as the leader of the country. In his letter, Arjuna Ranatunga pointed out that details pertaining to this corrupt transaction have been highlighted in the COPE report as well. Ranatunga questions as to under whose influence such transactions take place. It added, quote, "We have no objection if this corrupt transaction pertaining to broadcasting rights have been given to a state media institution in line with your policies. However, if that is not the case, I request the broadcasting rights to be made available for bidding amongst private and state television channels and create a competitive price, and to provide the broadcasting rights to the channel which offers the highest bid. Finally, in the name of sports, I would like to request from you the transaction pertaining to the broadcasting rights that have been given to Carlton Networks by Sri Lanka Cricket by blatantly violating your policies and the laws in the country be nullified immediately, unquote.
Websites that contain lewd content and individuals who are connected to these websites came under discussion at the Cabinet media briefing today. Now, journalists raised questions from Minister Keheliya Rambukwella about the conduct of Mangala Samaravira and Ruan Ferdinandez.
Meanwhile, Cabinet has approved the amendment of the Sri Lanka Press Council law to make provision for the registration of newscasting websites. Accordingly, a registration fee of 100,000 rupees and an annual renewal fee of 50,000 rupees will be levied from each of these websites. Those who specialize in malicious content will try to find a loophole in the law. We will have to act accordingly if the available provisions in the law prove insufficient.
The accepting of nominations for the Sabaragamuwa, North Central and Eastern Provincial Council elections commenced today. The Election Secretariat stated that nominations will be accepted until noon on the 19th.
Nominations of the United Socialist Party for the Eastern Provincial Council were handed over at the Trincomalee District Secretariat today. The Election Secretariat stated that deposits for independent parties can be handed over until noon on the 18th. Meanwhile, 2 SPs and an ASP were appointed to the Horopatana, Kapitagolava and Padaviya police divisions today. According to the police media spokesperson, these appointments will come into effect from the 15th of next month. Meanwhile, when we contacted the Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya in this regard, he stated that he was aware of the appointments. He stated that if a necessity arises, transfers could be given to police officers in areas where elections are to be held.
The Parliamentary Council has approved the appointment of Acting Attorney General, Solicitor General Palitha Fernando as the new Attorney General of the country. Council member Parliamentarian A.H.M. Aswar said that approval was granted when the Parliamentary Council convened this morning.
The Council convened with the participation of Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa, Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne and Parliamentarian A.H.M. Aswar. According to the 18th Amendment to the Constitution, the Speaker, Prime Minister, Government Representative, the Leader of the Opposition and Representative of the Opposition make up the Parliamentary Council. Parliamentarian A.H.M. Aswar said that the Opposition Leader and the Opposition Representative D.M. Swaminathan did not participate in the meeting. The position of Attorney General fell vacant when Attorney General Eva Vanasundara was sworn in as a Supreme Court judge recently. Accordingly, Palitha Fernando was appointed as the Acting Attorney General. Palitha Fernando, who was a student of Royal College, graduated from Law College in 1979. He has served in the Attorney General's Department for 32 years and has been a noted advocate of children's rights in Sri Lanka.
Indian Minister of Rural Development Jairam Ramesh says that the right to information has transformed the administrative system in India. He made this statement during a seminar in Colombo today.
A seminar on poverty alleviation jointly organized by the Lakshman Kadirgamar Institute for International Relations and Strategic Studies and the RIS Institute in New Delhi was held in Colombo today. Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka Ashok K. Kanta and Sri Lanka's High Commissioner to India Prasad Kariyavasam were among the diplomats who were present at the occasion. The keynote address was delivered by Indian Minister of Rural Development Jairam Ramesh.
And it is the right to information that has transformed administration in our country. It is the right to information that is leading to the opening of books in panchayats, in local bodies, in muster rolls. So this is what transparency can do to the implementation of rural development programs. It's this, not the executive right, but a legal right, not an administrative right, but a legal right that is at the cornerstone of this new approach to poverty alleviation. And I'm sure that there is much that the two countries, India and Sri Lanka, can collaborate in this regard.
Minister G.L. Pires also addressed the gathering.
I think it is fair to say that neither government believes that economic development per se is going to result in poverty alleviation and the amelioration of the conditions of life of our people. There are some conservative economists who argue that if a country is able to achieve a certain level of development, a certain rate of growth, you can leave the rest with confidence to the interplay of market forces.